Previously on Laotian Emotion.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine, and you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
What's up, guys? My name is Jesse, the Laotian Emotion, and this is my 1994 Mitsubishi 3000 GT. As you know, last episode we had a great problem with the battery terminals, and today I picked up a set of new battery terminals, and we're going to try and put them on today and see if that makes any sort of difference. The battery terminals in this car are located up and to the left. As you can tell from last episode, the terminals are not in the best of shape. They're really loose, and there's substantial damage on the terminal that probably prevents it from starting that great. So today we're going to take a look at them and replace them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off both terminals and remove the battery from the car. This battery's gone bad, it's been sitting for a while, and it's almost completely out of juice. The new terminals are right here. Picked them up today. They're pretty cheap, but they look exactly the same as the old ones, so I don't think I'm going to have any issue. Judging on how these terminals compare to the old ones, I think I got myself an exact match. The two nuts on top of the terminals are both 8mm, and I got myself a ratchet with an 8mm socket on it, and I'm going to switch them out real fast. So now that both terminals have been replaced, let's try dropping the battery back in and seeing if this car cranks. We've run into a bit of an issue. I installed this one upside down. So let me just fix that real fast.
March winds and April showers make way for sweet May flowers, and then comes June, sun and you. March winds and April showers, romance will soon be ours, an outdoor paradise for two.
Okay, so now that I fixed the little oopsie, now let's see if we can put it on the terminals and if it cranks. Nice and secure. Time for the other side. This one may need a bit of motivation. Just kidding. Much better. Yeah, we're on there real good now. Now I'll see this the car cranks up. Alright, now that we got that terminal fixed, let's hop inside the car and see if she cranks over. Three, two, one. That doesn't sound good. Nope. Still out of battery for now. So thankfully, in the shop I'm working, we got some jumper cables. So I'm going to hook them up to my Lancer and to the 3000 and see if she'll crank. So since the battery in the 3000 isn't strong enough to crank it over, I'm going to try something a little different and jump it off my daily car. I'll be able to see it in the background. A 2002 Mitsubishi Lancer. So I pulled my car in front, and now we're going to try and jump the 3000 off of the Lancer. Well, we're working hard now. Let's see. It's alive! So the previous owner of this vehicle said that the reason why he wanted to get rid of it was that for some reason the temperature kept climbing and climbing and it just wouldn't stop. My guess is that something's clogged in the cooling system or just not working optimally. Now, in a previous episode we checked out a fan and the fan wasn't working that great. Well, I ended up taking the fan out, it's gone now, and it was completely seized up. Hopefully now I'm going to take part of the airbox apart and get down to the thermostat and see if that's clogged. So in order to take the airbox out, it's pretty much just a few things you can hit with a screwdriver and a few clips. The area that's most interesting to me is the thermostat housing, which is right here. The thermostat housing is designed to where it allows your engine to get up to temperature, and then it opens so that any excess heat can be drained off. That's important for the healthy engine and for it to burn optimally. If that thermostat gets clogged, it means the engine temperature will keep going up and up and up. That's not good. Now, I'd love to just be able to take off the thermostat right now, but unfortunately, because the cooling system has a whole bunch of coolant in it, it'd make a big mess everywhere if I did. So first I have to drain the coolant. Thankfully, modern cars have come with a solution to this overheating problem and draining the coolant quickly. If you go underneath the car, underneath the front, way down underneath, you can see every part of the car. Now, right over here is the radiator. See it right over there? Well, thankfully, on the side here is something called a petcock. You can open this and all the coolant will quickly drain out of this hole for storage. That should be able to be just what I need in order to get all the coolant out of the system rather quickly. Now, this car was rather low to the ground. I didn't really realize that until after I got here. And I brought myself a jar to store all the coolant in, but unfortunately, the jar is just too tall to fit, even with all the extra space under the car. I'm gonna have to think of something else in order to get the coolant out of the car. So thankfully at the house I'm working at, there happened to be a drain pan, and the owner said he'd have no problem with me using it. So I'm just gonna slide this drain pan underneath the car, hit the petcock, and open it up to let the coolant out. And there we go. We have a little bit of coolant spilling out. That's until we open up the top of the radiator. Then we let some water in, let the air in. Oh, there we go. It's coming out now. So once you open the top of the radiator cap, a whole bunch of coolant should start coming out. Oh yeah, you can hear it. Slowly but surely, it'll all come out. So after you've drained all your coolant, now you can proceed to take off the thermostat housing. So first, I'm going to take off some of these hoses with this screwdriver. You'll get a little more working room. It doesn't really want to come off. Let's try a socket. You can take off the hose clamp with a 10mm socket. Maybe not. Let's just try taking off the thermostat housing. That bolt isn't the same. Weird. I'm guessing the top one might be a 13mm. And there's a thermostat. Pretty stuck in there. As you can tell, it's pretty nasty inside this cooling system. I'll be sure to clean all the stuff up before I put it back together. So thermostat's a bit sticky, so I'm gonna try this pry bar, or these little pliers to get them out.
It was at this moment Jesse knew he had botched up.
There we go. And it made a big mess. Of course. This just goes to show, no matter how clean you get your cooling system, there's always going to be a whole bunch left. Oh, that's a whole lot actually. Stick that back in there for now. And I'll clean some of this up. So I'm going to try and take out the thermostat again and probably use something to catch it this time. So I'm going to try using this drain pan that I got earlier. Carefully tuck the drain pan underneath everything, and hopefully nothing will spill out. Alright, let's try. Hey, it's working! Uh-oh. It's filling up kind of fast. It's dripping everywhere. Although thankfully, the thermostat in this car looks rather new. Pretty springy still, although I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I'll have to check inside the house to see if it really is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Don't try this at home, kids. There's antifreeze on everything and I don't want it to stain, so... Don't do that. I'm dumb. Don't do that. I really don't know where to go next. I took the thermostat out and I have to test it now. So let's go inside the house and see what will happen. Hey guys, so this is how I'm going to determine how my thermostat is good or bad or not. Now the thermostat will either open or close based on the temperature of the water or coolant. So I got myself a pot on the stove and I'm going to turn it on to high just to get this going. And I'm going to put the thermostat inside. Right now the thermostat's in its closed position. If the thermostat opens, I know it's working. Underneath the thermostat, it's rated at 170 degrees. Let's see what happens. So the water in the very bottom of the pot is starting to boil and the thermostat hasn't moved at all yet. Which brings me to the question, there's probably a problem with the thermostat. You're starting to see some bubbles on the bottom of the bowl and this thermostat hasn't moved at all yet. Now I will agitate it a little bit with a stick. Just try and get this thing moving. But this thing still hasn't moved at all. Now, and the water's getting pretty close to boiling, so we'll just have to wait and see. Our water is just about to boil, and unfortunately, the thermostat for the 3000 GT just refuses to open up. This is probably a major source of our problems right here in the cooling system, is this thermostat just won't open up. That's probably why the car is overheating, because this thermostat, as you can tell, is not opening, even though we're clearly over the temperature needed for it to open. The water is just about to get to boil, sitting lots and lots of small bubbles right now. Thermostat has not budged. So after the water was boiling for quite some time, the thermostat did manage to open itself, which is an indication that this thermostat is either rated for the wrong heat range or it's going bad so it's not opening fast enough. Either way, we're going to be shopping for a new thermostat sometime soon. Thanks for watching.